10 most expensive medicines of all time. $100,000 for one dose. Proper medications can ease up your headache from which you have been suffering for quite some time. Hello everyone and welcome back! Today we're going to discuss some of the most expensive medicines of all time. For example, $100,000 for one dose. Can you believe it? Number 10. Demsr. We would like to start our ongoing list with Demsr, or also known as Metrocin. First, let me tell you the cost of the said medicine. Mind you, right now, you are in for a big shock as this medicine Demsr tends to run anywhere from $96,000 to $472,000 annually. Like yeah, it's quite expensive. Now, let's make you a bit of aware how exactly does it works. Patients with pheochromocytoma produce excessive amounts of norepinephrine and epinephrine, which can dangerously elevate the blood pressures and cause lots and lots of danger. Firstly, let me tell you, what exactly is pheochromocytoma? This is a tumor of an adrenal gland that causes excess release of epinephrine and norepinephrine, hormones that will regulate heart rate and blood pressure. Metrocin from Valiant Pharmaceuticals is used to decrease the numbers of certain chemicals like catecholamines in the bodies which are caused by a type of adrenal gland tumor named pheochromocytoma. The said medicine can be taken as a pre-treatment before surgery or the long-term treatment of symptoms associated with this disorder and anything related to it, so you can finally be normal. It can also be used for the chronic treatments of patients with malignant pheochromocytoma. Number 9. Follotin. Moving on now, we have on our list Follotin, and this medicine isn't any less costly. It will cost you runs from a low of roughly $345,000 to over $500,000 per year per patient. The said medicine isn't that expensive for one dose, but when you count the number of doses you have to take in a month, then in total year you'll see why we have included it. Follotin, also known as pralatrexate. It's originally an FDA-approved medicine in 2009 from Alice Therapeutics. It is used as a last chance medication for some patients with relapsed or refractory peripheral T-cell lymphoma, short forms as PTCL, which is an aggressive form of non-Hodgkin lymphoma. PTLC is kind of a rare disease occurring in less than 9,500 patients each year in the US, this being its average. This medicine is classified as cytotoxic antimetabolite cancer agent. It is originally given by intravenous injection. Number 8. Ilaris. Now we have Ilaris. It can cost you around $379,000 to $462,000 as said by one of the most famous healthcare organizations, AHIP. It also known as canakinumab, which was originally approved in June 2009. People who are in periodic fever syndrome and have episodes of fever, inflammations without any other causes such as infections or virus can use the said medicine. Ilaris is said to be approved to treat sudden juvenile idiopathic arthritis, short form as SGIA, in children not less than 2 years of age and older. Number 7. Solaris. You will be shocked to know that this medicine costs around $600,000 per patient per year as set by WellRx. This fun fact is one Solaris used to be considered the most expensive drug in the world, but there are others now that far exceed this race. Solaris, or we can also call it eculizumab from Alexion Pharmaceuticals, is a specialty drug that has been FDA approved for many reasons, such as to treat a rare and chronic blood disease called an atypical hemolytic uremic syndrome. Yes, we know it's difficult to know and understand these terms, but these are just the medical terms, we really can't change them. It's also used to prevent the breakdown of red blood cells in people with diseases such as paroxysmal nocturnal hemoglobinuria. It also can be used for adults with neuromuscular disorders named generalized myasthenia gravis who are anti-acetylcholine receptor antibody positive so that they can save from this brutal disease. At last, it can also be used for the treatment of neuromyelitis optica spectrum disorder in adult patients who are anti-aquaporin 4 and are antibody positive. Number 6. Actimune. You will be surprised to know that Actimune, also known as interferon gamma 1b, falls in one of the very expensive groups of genetic disease treatments. It costs roughly around $700,000 per year based on some of the well-known reported prices from WellRx. Actimune is said to treat a severe life-threatening disease named osteopetrosis. Now first, let's make you aware of what exactly is osteopetrosis. It is the formations of abnormally dense bone as opposed to osteoporosis, which is brittle bone. It is also said to lower the occurrence of serious infections due to a well-known disease named chronic granulomatose. Number 5. Lumizyme. Now, the 5th all-time expensive medicine on our list is Pulmozyme, also known as aglucosidase alpha. It is a lysosomal glycogen-specific enzyme that is used to treat Pompe disease. While these drugs may seem like a bargain and easy way out at only about $800 per vial, generally, each patient on average would need about 56 vials per month. Based on this, Lumizyme could have a price tag running about $650,000 per year. So yes, it isn't even cheap. Now let's tell you a bit more about the palm disease and how it can be cured with the help of this sad medicine. In this disease, excess glycogen causes worsening of muscle weaknesses and also can affect heart, skeletal muscles, liver, and nervous system. This specific enzyme is also needed to break down glycogen, which is also a stored form of sugar used for energy. Lumizyme also replaced this enzyme and was approved from the palm disease indications in 2014, thus proving that the said medicine is quite effective. Number 4. Carbaglu. Isn't it obvious, guys, if you're having a rare disease where you are missing a needed enzyme, it can be very expensive? Like Lumizyme, the medicine mentioned just before this. Carbaglu is also a widely expensive medicine running at about generally $200 per 200 milligram tablet, as said by WellRx. So yes, we are presenting you the all well-known and trusted resources. At a midpoint recommended maintenance dose, a 70 kg person would roughly end up needing 3,500 mg per day, or 18 tablets per day, which will cost you at as much as $3,600 per day, and it would run about $1.3 million per year. Carbaglu is also known as carglumic acid and is an orally administered drug. It is used to help treat and prevent the buildup of dangerous ammonia in the blood due to lack of a required liver enzymes, which is known as acetylglutamate synthase, or NAGS. It also works by preventing a buildup of nitrogen in the bloodstreams that can quickly cause coma and death. Number 3. Brunura. Now guys, let's move on the third medicine on our list, which is generally known as Brunura or Soliponase alpha. The reports from well-known medicine facility Fortune Assets that Brunura runs close to $700,000 per year, so yes, it's quite expensive. Although the cost also depends on what a patient or their family pays, it also affected by multiple circumstances, including manufacturer support. The said drug or medicine can be said or treated so orphan drug. Orphan drugs are intended for safe and effective treatment. It is also used for the diagnosis or prevention of rare diseases or disorders that can affect fewer than 200,000 people in the US. The disease for which this medicine is used as a medication is originally a rare inherited disorder that primarily affects the nervous system. This disease is quite devastating to say the least, and patients often require the use of wheelchair by the late childhood. These children typically do not survive past their teens, which is just sad. Number 2. Ravicti. Now there is a reasons as to why this is the second one on our list. The price tag of Ravicti is quite expensive. It is generally given as an oral liquid and it could run up to $1.22 million per patient per year for treatment based on the maximum recommended dose. You will be surprised to know that initially in the first half of 2019, Horizon had made sales of Ravicti hovering in the $100 million range. So yes, it's quite expensive and it's used to again treat one of the orphan diseases as not many people get it. It is a treatment approved to help prevent a build-up toxic ammonia in the blood in children from birth and older. In short, it saves quite a few lives. Ammonia in the blood and tissues can end up leading to permanent brain damage, coma, or death. Number 1. Zolgensma. Topping our list, guys, we have Zolgensma, which is termed as the world's most expensive drug, to say the least. Originally developed by Novartis International AG in Switzerland, it's used to treat spinal muscular atrophy or SMA. It costs up to $2.77 million per dose, leaving us amazed by its cost. After all, what else do you expect from the most expensive medicines of all time? FDA approved it recently as per the claims. Zolgensma is a gene therapy drug designed to replace the defective gene causing SMA, and patients only required one dose, which is delivered in liquid form via a vein. Wrapping it up, that's all we need to tell you about the world's most expensive medicines. Don't forget to like and comment on your views on this topic. Also, if you haven't subscribed, already push that button and press the bell icon to be always notified about everything else we update. See you in the next video. Until then, fellas.